You have a bad posture or even a hunchback and want to do something about it, then you are in the right place. Because Renee and I, we will show you helpful Liebscher and Bracht exercises. You can start right away with us. And we will show you 2 bonus exercises with which you can achieve your results very easily. First, let's take a look at what turkey neck, round back, hunchback, and poor posture, what that actually means. Renee, please move sideways to the camera and now adopt a poor posture, like a hunched back. Yes, perfect. Straighten up again. Watch the head when Renee does that. Go slower into the round back. That means here it becomes round, and if Renee would let the head go up again, do it. Keep your head like this and just go into the round back. No, let it be like that. Then you would automatically fall into a bad posture. To compensate for this, you do that. And then there is this vulture neck, this extended, hyperextended neck. Yes, once again straight. Now go again, bad posture and right in here. So is the connection. So one will rarely find such an overextended head without the back simultaneously being in poor posture. The more there is hyperextension. And now we want to get out of there. Now on to the first exercise. We had just looked at how it's connected with the round back. Now let's address this poor posture of the back. First, lie on your stomach, like Renee does, and now please feel in. We have our rib cages here, right here. And please feel how they rest, so you can sense it.
Yes.
Do you feel?
I feel.
So now the task for the exercise is as follows. You push yourself up with your arms, keeping the upper torso higher, without the rib cage lifting off. Try that, Renee.
I push myself up with my arms.
Yes, but you can relax, put your forearm down. Yes, exactly. But the rib cage must stay down.
Is it down there?
It is down, yes. Okay? It may be that you hyperextend significantly less than Renee does. Just feel. Yes, it is still below, that is correct. Attempt to find exactly this boundary. You go on your forearms and go a little higher each time. But you definitely want to keep the contact here. The contact which must be maintained. This means that you can go higher only above the rib cage, because if the lower part remains, then the only movement possible is up to here, so to speak, against the round back. Breathe yourself beautifully further in. And as you notice that there is a little more space, to push yourself a little higher, you push yourself higher, but always stay below this limit. That means it must not be so intense that you have to counteract or can no longer breathe calmly. Everything must be completely loose.
Tell me, what am I doing with my head?
Actually, you can leave that one normal. You don't necessarily have to do anything with your head. You can additionally, but that's not so easy. Try it, Renee, and also you at home. In addition to this lifting exercise, do not look at me. Make sure you are looking straight ahead. Can you now try to see how far you can pull your chin towards your larynx? How close can you get? Do you notice that?
That is intense.
This is an intense supplementary exercise, so to speak. It doesn't necessarily have to be now, but you can do it. If you repeat the video to improve your posture, you can increasingly focus on that.
I am not doing it anymore. We don't want to overdo it.
But it's exhausting, isn't it?
That is too exhausting.
Also, chin to larynx practically means that a lot of additional work is already being done here at the same time. But okay, now we are going to do strength training. That means you stay exactly as you are. And now pay attention. You are now tensing your anterior trunk muscles.
What are these?
The trunk muscles.
Chest.
Yes, chest, and a bit deeper, a little deeper. The abdominal muscle is part of it. And now try to press your arms against the ground with these muscles, but without the trunk moving. There is always this tension. It must happen without movement. Because during a movement, what we have previously stretched would become shorter again. And we do not want that. That should remain exactly as long. Yes? Then you relax again and give it a try. No, the rib cage must stay down.
Oh yes, I just noticed it.
You just noticed what you were about to lift. Are you trying to get a little higher?
But that's okay, it can't go much higher anyway.
That is only a very small amount of leeway. But the purpose of counter tension is not only to increase the stretching, but above all, to strengthen the muscles that are now at this length in this stretched position.
Understood.
So, and now again. Press your forearms against the floor with your core strength, really pushing back nicely.
Do you know what I do automatically? Everything. Also knees on the ground, everything works there.
Yes, but it doesn't have to be. So if you need it to exert the force here, then it's okay. But if you don't need it, it doesn't necessarily have to be. Then relax again. But letting go loosely does not mean out of the stretch, but rather into more stretching.
Yes.
But keep the rib cage down, okay? And that was enough work for now. Now relax and rest. Now we'll do the second exercise. We were just here at the curvature of the back. Now it's about the hyperextension of the cervical spine. What happens during hyperextension? The more hyperextended it is, the shorter everything back here becomes. And that's why we need to make what is too short longer. Straighten your back completely. Take both hands up, back, a little towards the top of the head. And now you tuck in your head. So the chin wants to go towards the larynx, and the nose wants to go down towards the sternum. And then you notice it starts to pull back here. Do you notice that?
But of course I noticed that.
This is very, very good because of course means clearly the stretching must be so that it also has a good effect. And start breathing nicely. Inhale, and as you exhale, go a little deeper into the stretch. And always push yourself staying at the limit, below the limit, or rather, always further into the stretch. Where do you feel it?
Down to the shoulder blade.
Yes, wonderful. But stay straight. Stay straight, keep staying straight. Yes. If you have someone who can correct you a little with their finger, then ask them to do so. And breathe beautifully while doing so. And always having the sensation of spinning in my head. Okay, and now we do the opposite with strength training. And you keep everything as it is, don't move either, but move your head again. That means you want to go up, the nose wants to go forward, the chin wants to move away from the larynx. And then what is being stretched here tightens. And that is exactly the effect we need. Then relax again and continue into the stretch.
Down again now?
Exactly. Stretching is always downwards. Rolling in is going into the stretch and rolling out is wanting to get out. But it doesn't work because you resist. Breathe nicely in and out.
Can I damage anything with the exercise?
No. No. You must move slowly and consciously, always in a way that still feels positive. Then it's a stretch, and you can stretch your whole body without ever getting burned. If you have a severely damaged cervical spine or other issues, please consult with a doctor before doing these exercises. But most doctors today are already at the point where they say, yes, exercise is always good. It just can't be any sudden movement. Yes, injuries always occur during rapid movements, falls, and sudden exertions. We are still training here. Yes. I had hoped you would forget that we can train longer.
No. I have that on my mind.
Okay, and now rotate in the opposite direction again.
Where what?
You want to roll up again. You hold on, then you want to unroll again. So here you tense up again now.
Yes.
And just tense it up as much as feels good right now. Yes, one should always be a bit more cautious with the cervical spine than with other body parts.
We have already trained too much, actually.
And relax again and continue into the stretch.
Go a little further.
Yes, go a little further, right? And come out slowly. Intense, right?
Yes.
Feel inside. Do you ever check in with yourself at home? How do you feel about it? Usually there's a noticeable difference right away. Now we have done 2 stretches. One against kyphosis and one against hyperextension in the cervical spine. And now we combine the effects of both exercises and align the whole thing. That means you take the hands like before, but no, you leave the head on the ground. You only go so far with your hands, with your fingers in this gap between head and floor, that the head can continue to lie on the floor. And now you do the following at home, and Renee too. Now you bring your larynx further towards, the chin further towards the larynx. And then you notice it stretches back here. You keep doing that, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And let it take effect. During the time that Renee is practicing, another hint. Especially with these exercises where such a posture should be corrected, especially with older people, it takes a really long time. You need routine, you need daily practice over and over, over and over, over and over. And then each small step become a giant step. And we all have these laziness genes built in and actually don't want to move if we don't have to. And that's why I developed the Liebscher Bracht app. I motivate you to move every day against your pain with free training sessions that focus on the whole body so that you become more flexible and feel better in your body. Every morning, 7 minutes, 365 days a year, a new training from Monday to Saturday, 7 minutes, on Sunday, 30 minutes, because there is a little more time to practice. A whole world of stretching and feeling good. Go in there for sure, click here, you'll get information and participate. There are also trial periods that you can do. Try it out, I think you will be thrilled. So many are already participating, over 50,000 are already in. And we have a goal. The older we get, the more pain-free and flexible we can become. Are you still stretching?
Yes, you have so much text, you do that on purpose.
Yes, 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 that is the trick. How do we get Renee to fight his laziness genes and stretch longer? Now you stay like this, and now please go with your belly button down. And what do you notice there? The lumbar spine comes closer to the ground. Try to touch the floor with the entire lumbar spine while keeping the chin down. And then you realize these 2 things contradict each other. And the exercise is brilliant. It is one of my favorite exercises because it stretches exactly what is too short and strengthens what is too weak. The goal is a truly healthy aligned spine. And don't be fooled. While Renee is practicing, I will explain it to you briefly. We are on a line now, and you could say, yes, but we want to have a spine that is totally straight. No, we don't want to either. But if you have something that has too many arches and you want the opposite, namely no arch, then you have arrived in the middle at some point, which has healthy arches. And that is exactly the goal. The goal is not a perfectly straight spine, but a healthy, rounded one. Chin down, lumbar spine down. And now we are going to do strength training here. Get started right away. You stay as you are, Renee, nothing changes. But you want to press with your head. That means you press with the back of your head against the ground. Press firmly, press firmly. Relax, press further in, and continue with the lumbar spine towards the ground. And again, you want to press, do the same at home. You want to press, your head presses against the ground, you relax, the chin moves more towards the larynx, the lumbar spine moves more downwards. And one more time, okay? Let's do it one more time. Your head wants to roll up, pressing against the ground. You relax, pull the chin down towards the larynx, and come down more with the lumbar spine towards the floor. And relax. Rest briefly. So, and now for trick 17. Namely, with our back her 0, I hope you can see it, Renee is lying on it. And this is now the lazy man exercise or lazy woman exercise, whatever. You simply lie down on it and gravity does the job. Because you see how Renee is really being teased here. That means the thoracic spine, which is rounded in too much kyphosis, will be pulled more and more into the opposite, stretched in. And that's one thing, when you lie on it for the first time and then want to get off, it probably takes a while, because then you realize how much effect there is, how everything is aligned completely differently. If you do this regularly, it is a massive support for your efforts to regain a good posture. And you can find information about this back hero here. And until you don't have them yet, you just take a few books for the time being. So, and that would now be sort of trick 18. Namely our neck hero or a few books that you place underneath. What happens now? Renee is aligned and the neck is easily stretched by gravity. And if that's not enough, there's the trick with arms stretched upwards and downwards. Now it pulls the shoulder down and you notice the intensity will increase again now, right? That means you can also use this as a lazy man exercise, lazy woman exercise. Simply lay down on it and get your neck stretched out properly. These are the two things we need. We need the back to become more straight and the neck to come out of its shortening. You can get information about the neck hero here. Renee, now feel in again. Thoracic spine, neck, how does that feel?
Everything feels stretched out.
All stretched out, right? I think you feel something similar. If you want more exercises against round back, against a vulture neck, then please click here and there below. You can subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet.
Subscribe immediately.
So you can catch up with our videos. Goodbye.